the Rangers Journal Night.
Good evening and welcome to your Rangers Journal match reaction. As always, we are sponsored by Premier VPN for all your fast, safe and private VPN needs. You can find them online searching Premier VPN or on Twitter searching the same thing. I'm joined tonight with Curry to rake over what I think can only be described as another truly turgid display. Curry, what were your thoughts after that game?
I think your introduction was perfect, mate. You were like the Reverend I Am Jolly. Hello,
you're no wrong.
it's me again. I've got a mate, absolutely brutal. And the thing is that is it a surprise? No. That's just the thing. But I think the majority of people that were trying to keep optimistic about the club and the manager are the only ones that are really, really upset. I think there's a minority out there like myself that I'm no mad anymore. There's no point being mad anymore. We've been saying it for the last 5 months probably since the start of the season, especially after the game against that mob. We've seen it coming. We were hearing things that Kilmarnock was saying that was sending little alarm bells off, and there was red flags there that were like, right, what's he seen that we're no seeing, or what we seen that he's not seeing? And it's just basically, I think everybody's now catching up now. I've watched a few pods today, and I think that they're basically saying what I was saying last. And I hate saying this like, well, I tell you so, because I didn't want to say this. I was hoping that this would all turn out right, but going forward, something needs to change, mate. I won't say it out and out right now because we'll probably go into it a lot more. But the performance today was absolutely fucking rotten, mate. It was a disgrace. The whole thing, mate. The manager, the starting 11, the substitutions, the lack of substitutions, the setup, the style, the fight, the pride, the skill. There was nothing shown. Not one player gets a pass in that team. In fact, I'll tell you what, 2 do get a pass, but they only got a 6. They only get just a pass in the mirror, and that's Butland for the couple of good saves he made. And Barron, although he wasn't as good as he normally is, he was certainly better than all the rest, because all the rest were howling, especially that second half. People are going to clip this. You better get ready to see this. But I thought one of our better players in the first half was Tavernier. but as soon as he got the yellow card, somebody said to me that I wouldn't be surprised if Tavernier scored. I was like, I can see him actually get their second yellow. He gets sent off more than I can see him scoring. It's not good enough, mate. It's just not good enough. And if the board are not, if what's left of the board are not prepared, if Gilligan can't turn around and say, right, listen, he said that in a statement last week that there is people in charge and there are people that will make decisions in that. Right, well, this is a time to make a decision because it has to happen. I really do. What about you? I know you are one of the more optimistic of the Rangers support. I know that you try and see the best, even when it's not there. And I'm not going to call you a happy clapper, mate. Not quite. You're not quite a happy clapper, right? But you do tend to see the better side of things a lot of the time. And you don't like to criticise the team or the club too much. You'd rather be looking at it unbiased. But at this moment, how are you feeling now that this has happened?
No far off of what you're saying, to be honest with you, Curry. For me, I wouldn't say I was happy about it, but I was willing to accept a transition season. I was willing to accept, players bedding in, but there's one key part for it for me was that you had to see continual improvement. Didn't have to be huge leaps and bounds, but you had to see something each time. I think for me, we were talking pre-pod, and you think back to Hearts, Celtic, Leon. All right, we won last time out against St Johnstone by 2, but even then, that was a pretty turgid display as well. Are we seeing that improvement on the pitch? I don't think we are, to be quite honest. I think we're just bumping from one game to the next. This was the start of quite a big run of games for us. Clement set his stall out and said, come October or November, maybe, you would see the best of his side. Well, we're deep in October now. We've just started a run of 7 games in the build-up. We had Killie away, which was our first major test. It's only 10 days and we've got the Sheep away. And can anyone say they're looking forward to that? Because I certainly aren't.
Well, can I just say hello to our usual obsessed Celtic fans, San Frank Celtic. I suppose that's San Francisco. We talk about the shithole. I would advise anybody go to San Francisco. The place is an absolute shithole. It's worse than the East End. So
it's all right.
Thanks
He's
for coming in.
now.
Thanks for coming here. It's always good to see you. I don't know why. Right, this is called Rangers, mate. Just in case you forgot, right? It's Rangers, right? So
he's gone now. Curry.
Away and watch some other type of program. You obsessed banger. Jesus. Anyway, mate. After that, there's always fucking one, isn't there?
Aye. There always is.
Leave the device back to your carer, pal. Jesus. Anyway, right, back to
onto the game itself, Curry. On the game itself, mate. You've said about Butland. I think he didn't cover himself in glory for me for that, for their goal. But I do kind of agree with you that he had a couple other saves, and actually we could have been behind before we were if it wasn't for him.
It could have been 4-0, mate. We could have got 4-0 a day. I mean, we couldn't have complained. That's how bad we were.
I'd agree with that. One thing I did want to talk about, see in the middle of the pitch, right? And we've kind of talked about this on this show already, but for me, 2 isn't working, right? They've been asked to do too much, cover too much space. Both of them, their best play has always been in a 3, not a 2. Do you think that we need to change that we should go to a 4-3-3?
But we've not got 2 in midfield, mate. We've only got 1 person in midfield because there's always somebody there to cover Tavernier. It was like the day. Every time that ball went down that left-hand side or his right-hand side, there was a midfielder down to help Tavernier. Even when it was only 1-on-1, there was Diamondi was there to help cover for Tav. So if Diamondi's going back there to help with Tav to cover him in case he lets the guy go by him, which he did do again, it means that Diamondi's not doing what he's supposed to do in his position. So we're basically down to 1. That's why it's so easy to run by us or get a ball by us, because we've only got 1 midfielder to actually cover the whole of the position. The whole of the Rangers support have been crying out for a flat 3 for the last probably 3 or 4 months. Ever since we played them, we even said when we played against them we need a flat mid 3 to cover. Did he do it? No, he never. He went with his usual 10. He's not going to change. We've already seen that, mate. He's not going to change anything. And that's why we're not going to improve. And that's why we're not going to win anything with him in charge. Because there's been, we're talking about improvements in that. We've not seen any improvements to the start of the season. We've not seen any improvement for last year.
Fair.
Even this is going to sound, although I hate this man, is one of the worst Rangers men ever to be at Rangers. I'm saying that about 40 times, right? Michael Beale, right? At least we've seen something. There was a thing called Beale ball. There was a style there. It might have not worked, but there was a style there. There's absolutely no style at all with Clement. None at all. It looks fractured. It looks rushed. It looks panicked. players are not getting played in their natural positions. He keeps on. We've all been saying, even the most fervent of fans, he's Tavernier. I've even said that he should be rested. That Ingemann should be in there in place of him, especially after his performance in the international again. His international game. They even say that he should be starting. We all know if Tavernier has passed it, and this is me saying he had his best game the day in the first half.
Aye.
He actually forward a couple of times. He put a couple of good balls in, but we put the ball into who?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And that brings me on quite nicely, actually. Our striking options are absolutely abysmal at the minute, I would say. You've got Dessers, whose definition of Jekyll and Hyde has a good game here and there, but there's far too many where he's just useless. But then behind him, we've got Danilo, who isn't ready and isn't going to be ready for a hell of a long time, I wouldn't imagine, and Igamani. And do you know what? I like Igamann's ability to hold up the ball, to link play. But when you're chasing a game with 20 minutes left and you're bringing on this guy and he spends most of his time out on the wings, that's no helping, is it?
Exactly, mate. I don't see the part in the play that Clement's trying to influence if anything goes wrong. It just seems to be more of the same.
Yeah.
It's like
even
for like
subs,
near enough every position that we do. Yeah. For me, and I don't know whether this would be right, probably no, but for me, that game was crying out for maybe Lawrence to come off, especially after the first half, and bringing Ingemann in and going 2 up front, and maybe giving Dessers that wee bit of help. But as you said, Dessers, he's had some woeful bad games since he started with us. I would say this was probably one of his worst performances in a Rangers shirt, and that's gone a long way. And can I also say hi to everybody on the chat as well? I see a lot of the normal names that used to come into my pod, and I've been into this pod all the time. They always come in here to speak to you, so I hope you are all well. Sorry, it's under these circumstances. And you need to listen to me just rant and rave and try no swearing and get this channel took off.
Did I do that? Scotty will come hunting for both of us, man.
I'm not scared of Scotty.
See, to be fair, I don't think you're saying much that the vast majority wouldn't agree with anyway, mate. It's so poor, and I think for me, one of the big things is, as you say, he didn't change it in the game, and really he hasn't changed it at all since start of the season or even tail end of last season. And that's Twitter, the biggest worry.
On Twitter, somebody said, name me one player that's improved under Clement. And my reply was, every player that's played against us.
Jesus.
That's how bad it is.
Aye.
We're making very average players look world class against us. That's how poor we are. I can't see a way forward, and I'll say it, and I've already said it before. Clement needs to go, mate. He has to go, and the answer to who we bring in is, I don't know. We briefly spoke about this before we came on here. Who do we bring in? Now, I'll give you a scenario, right, to who we should bring in, right? I'm not going to mention the names, right, but I'm Mr. Nobody, right? But here's what I would do if I was a Rangers manager. I wouldn't be starting Tavernier to the start. I would go to a flat mid 3. I wouldn't be playing Lawrence in number 10. I would have Barami in the number 10. And I'd be making sure that we were looking for a new number 9 in January. Now, is that any better than what Clement is offering at the moment?
For me, yes. If I'm being honest, because...
And I'm nobody. And the thing is that You probably think the same thing that I just said.
Yep.
Everybody in this chat probably thinks the exact same thing. So any one of us is probably a better fit to be a Rangers manager than Philip Clement is right now.
I think the problem for me is
mate,
we can all see it's not working. That's the problem. And yet Clement seems to be persistent in the hope it's going to get better. And the reality is we've seen it's not getting better.
This reminds me the 55 season, mate, with Neil Lennon. And what Celtic fans were saying at the time, that Neil Lennon was just throwing players on, hoping that something would work out. Just basically throwing shit at the wall and hoping something stuck. And that's exactly what Clement's doing just now. He's just some of the substitutions are baffling. Did Barron have a brilliant game? No, but he was a lot quieter than he normally is, right? But he wasn't that bad. But he takes him off and swaps him like for like.
Yeah,
with Raskin, right? Did that change the style of football we were doing? No, it just continued the exact same way we were playing. As I said, why didn't he take Lawrence off, move Barami into the middle? Maybe bringing McCausland on, swapping Tierney around. Or even Timmy bringing Ingeman on and put him on Timmy and have two up front. Just to change the system, because what we were doing wasn't working.
Aye.
We didn't look as if we were going to score. We in that whole game with 3 shots, right, on target. One was Tierney, Timmy long shot. One was Dessers that bounced off him and hit the post. I can't remember the other one. There was 3 though, but that was the only opportunities we had. As I said, Kilmarnock had 4. They should have scored 4. One was offside, so it would have been 3. But could we have complained if that score had been 2, 3, 4, nothing down? No. For me, if it had ended at that score, I'd guarantee you that Monday morning, Clement would have had his P45 because John Gallagher would have had no option. But
I don't think he will, mate. Again,
right now, Gallagher should have. He's the one that says that we've got people there that's got to make decisions. Well, they need to make a decision because
I'll be honest, mate. I don't see it. I think the board backed themselves into a corner gaining that new contract, and I'm not even convinced that they'd want to pay the money to pay him off. I'm being truthful.
Thing is, right? People are saying, mate, right? How much is it going to cost us to get rid of him? How much is it going to cost us if we keep him?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Do we need to go into the realms to finish in 4th or 5th in the league? Because let's be serious, that's how bloody awful we are at the moment. We really are. Do we need to get to that point where we maybe be struggling to get to UEFA Conference League matches? Is that weird? How much is that going to cost us?
I think if we didn't have Europe, we'd be in serious financial trouble. But again, is there that joint up thinking long term at the top of the club at the minute? You know?
Sorry, buddy, I missed that. Sorry.
I'm saying, is there that kind of joined up long term thinking at the top of the club at the minute? Because I know Gilligan said there was. Is there?
Just noticed. Could you put up Jordy's question, mate?
There you go.
What's the difference between 3rd and 5th? Well, 3rd and 4th is 1 point. I know that. What's 4th and 5th? I think it's only 2 points. I think. Okay. I think it's only 2 points. So, I mean, to say, can you actually see this Rangers side the day beating any of the top 6 or 7 Scottish teams? No.
Depends which team turn up, to be honest. But the fact that we're even asking that question for me is a pretty major issue. We shouldn't be, really. The only question should be against them across the city, especially with the wage bill.
Aye. See at this point, mate, right? Aberdeen will probably, unless something fantastical happens, right, will probably fall away. It's a general rule that other teams do start well, like the Hearts when they first started last season. They were really going high, and then they fell away just because they don't have the depth and structure in their team. They tend to later on in the league they'll fall down a wee bit. Aberdeen, I'm guessing they go under past form that it's going to happen again. But even then, I think we'll still have a struggle fighting for between second and third, and that's at best. And that's if we stay under Clement, because until we can get a manager that is going to change the system to the way that Scottish football is played and is prepared to drop players that go into hiding, he's not prepared to take a risk on the youth to give them a chance, because bringing on any youth is not going to be any worse than some of the crap we watched today. Because
I've thought this battle before.
Even the big names, Barami, I thought Barami was really, really bang average. Tierney, I thought he put in a bit of effort in the first half, but then just went totally missing. Things never worked well. But even when he was running, we knew what he was going to do. I was watching, right, he's got to cut inside. Cut inside. Oh, he's got to cut inside. Oh, cut inside. Oh, he's got to cut inside. Oh, he cut inside. Except for the two balls that he played through for Tavernier, which was probably the best bits of plays of the whole match. And Tavernier put two good balls in, but Dessers just stood in the middle, picking his fucking arse.
Aye. So I guess just before we wrap it up, mate, just one last question. Do you have any confidence that this team bounces back for Stoya midweek?
Not a chance in hell, mate. Not a chance in hell. We are in dire straits, mate. And that if Clement doesn't go, it's going to get worse. And it's not going to be until the support, the ones that actually go to the games, the season ticket holders, I want to keep my year's points, put their foot down and say, nah, enough's enough. We're not having this. And until bums and seats start to vacate, what's left of the board are going to do nothing, because that's the only way things are going to change. Because if the support do not show the board that they are prepared to do something about what's happening, nothing's going to change, and Clement will still be here this time next year, or the end till at least the end of the season. And if he's here at the end of the season, we might beat Motherwell. We might get into the final. We will not beat Aberdeen or Celtic at this point. No, not what we've got on this team at the moment, or the way we're playing at the moment. There's no way we're going to beat them. And that kills me to say that. We will not win the league. We will not even come close. We're going to be at least 15 points behind them, is my prediction at this moment. While he's in charge, we will be at least 15 points behind them. And then with the Scottish Cup, is the other one the Scottish Cup, or is this the Scottish Cup?
This is the League Cup. The other one's Scottish.
Right. We won't come close, because as soon as we need to face them, we're not going to win. We are not good enough to come even close to them at this moment. That's just being honest. That's my thoughts, mate, and I'm sorry for being so negative, but
no, not at all.
I have been saying this for the last 4 or 5 months now, and I've been ridiculed. I've had so much shit thrown my way about being so negative about Clement and Tavernier and some of the other players, but already seen this. But there's one thing I always know. Doesn't matter how we play or where we end up, I'll always be a Rangers supporter. And that's one thing I always have gone for me. Because I'd rather be a Rangers supporter than any other supporter. As simple as that, mate.
Very true. Very true. All right. Thanks very much for listening, everyone. And remember, every night is a Rangers Journal night.